Hi everybody, and welcome back to Sam Dahl Makes a List. Today's episode is brought to you by my persistent need to entertain even though I am tired and my body is falling apart. You may notice the setup is the same as the last episode, or maybe not because this is coming out a week later. That's because I have to bulk film, otherwise I'll lose momentum and fall asleep for 2 weeks. Today's episode is how to meet people not online. I feel the need to preface this episode by saying I met my husband online. Oh, so maybe I'm a fraud. But before I met my husband online, I met many suitors. So many suitors, it's crazy in real life. I also want to say that I am a huge advocate for online dating, not just because that's how I met my husband, but more because online and offline is kind of the same thing. Like when people are like, online dating doesn't work, it's so depressing, there's so many losers on there. Yeah, but have you been out and about? There's losers everywhere. The chances of you meeting someone you like enough to share your life with are already not amazing. Otherwise, everybody would be in a healthy, happy relationship. I think the issue is when you're online, you just get more negatives more quickly. Whereas if you were doing it organically, like at a bar, you'd like once a week maybe be like, oh great, another loser, instead of seeing them all at once on your phone in front of your face. In terms of odds, I actually think your odds are probably better of meeting someone online, but I understand seeing that many losers in front of your face can be discouraging for some people, which is why it's easier for them to just date out in the wild. I'm going to go through my little list and let you know what I would be doing now if I wasn't married. This summer, I went to a baseball game. I don't do crap like that, okay? I don't give a shit about sport. I could not believe all the men there. Baseball's a fun one because it's like the middle of the day, people are day drinking, it's a Saturday, they're just in the mood to be a little bit goofy. I said to my friend, we were both married, this is a hotbed of activity. There's just people here that want to party. Midday, they're here for a good time. If I were single, done. And I would say that about most sporting events. I work at an arena. I've worked at an arena for 10 years. Hockey games, I work basketball games, football, soccer. I would say when I was single and I first started that job, there's just so many people there like having drinks and doing stuff. I want to get into the same vein. Concerts. I have written my number on more receipts at concerts than I can count because again, I worked at a stadium, so there would just be hot people everywhere. Also, I love someone that's down to like buy a ticket and go to an event in general. I'm like, you're fun. You like to get out of the house, you're doing something, you're a good time. You enjoy something, you have a hobby. It's attractive. Sporting events and concerts, I am a strong advocate for. I also want to circle back to that thing I just said about receipts. Even before I worked in the bartending industry, I have been writing my number on random pieces of paper and giving it to people I think are cute since before the dawn of time. When I started dating, there weren't apps, so that wasn't as crazy as it seemed. That was a move I would pull a lot. I'd be like, that guy's hot, I'm gonna write my number down and just give it to him and he'll either call or he won't, but who fucking cares? I'll probably never see him again. And that only backfired on me one time. A guy sitting next to me at Starbucks and I thought he was really cute, but he was in a meeting. I wrote my number on the piece of paper and I gave it to the barista and I was like, okay, when this guy walks out, hand him my number. So like half an hour later, he texts me. Start chatting. He's like, okay, want to go on a date? And I'm like, yeah, sure. He shows up at the date, sits at the table, and when he's about to sit, he goes, oh, sorry, I was late. I was at a meeting. When I say a meeting, you probably already have an idea in your head. Erase it, tell you what the meeting was. He takes a flyer out of his back pocket. It says, Fascists Unite. Fascists. I was like 22. What are you doing being a fascist at 22? What do you know? He's like, oh, do you know about fascism? I'm like, I've heard a thing or two. Had my one drink and was like, I gotta go. He goes, do you want me to bike you home? I go, what, you got a sidecar? He's like, no, you can sit on my handlebar. Dude. No. Anyway, that's the only time that backfired. Every other time I've had good dates and fun experiences. Number 3 or 4, I don't know. This one is kind of a lot of work. If you want to date someone, want to meet people, get a part-time job at a restaurant or a bar. I'm not kidding. Half the people I've hooked up with in my life. People at restaurants are always hooking up. People at bars are always hooking up. You meet people. There's like customers. There's managers. I mean, line cooks. There's a lot of options there. I just feel like it's such a great way to meet people. And especially if you're working at a restaurant, different people come in every night. I met so many people that way. Just in general. Like you're out, it's real life. Like it's so fun. If I was single, I would be working at a restaurant right now and cleaning up, sister. If you don't want to work at a restaurant, if you don't want to get a job, going places regularly. I have a friend that goes to the same coffee shop every week. About a couple months ago, a girl he just thought was cute walked in and he just went up and talked to her and they're dating now. First time he saw her, he didn't do anything and was just like, oh, that girl's cute. And then she came in again another day because it turned out it was also her coffee shop and now they're boyfriend and girlfriend. So that's a thing. Go to a bar once a week. Go to a regular place. Like make a little bit of a routine at a haunt. Eventually you start seeing the same people and that's just a way to meet people as well. Subsection of this, is a weekly event at an establishment. For example, I have two friends that met at a trivia night. Same bar every Thursday. I guess one of the Thursdays they just saw each other, but they were there every Thursday, and they've been dating for like 5 years. This is another thing that people shut out, but I feel like it's really fun, and I've heard good things about people that grab a friend and go speed dating. I was one time on a date with a guy, and we went to this bar not knowing that that night was speed dating night. So we basically just sat there and watched these people speed date, and it was actually hilarious. Like, it wasn't cringe. It was people, like, I'm sure they have different like age ranges for each of these, but it's like you and your friend just speed date, and it's like either it works out or it's just hilarious. I mean, I would totally do that. If you have a single friend too, that is the clutch move. You go out together, you meet guys together, you meet girls together, you know, like you need to be in the scene. I don't know what the hell I'm saying now. Let's move on. This one also kind of involves doing something that you might not want to do, but I cannot believe how many people I know have met at dog park, having a pet. You know, when you watch like a show and it's like, oh, that hot girl has a dog, and then the male character's like, let me borrow your dog so I can go talk to her. That is a real thing. I got my dog with my husband, so I never got to practice this in the field, but I've witnessed it many times. And actually one of my husband's good friends, his last girlfriend, he dated for a year. He met at the dog park. You have a common interest, you're outside, it's fun. I'm not kidding. I have a few couples that come to mind that have met through their dogs. Obviously, if you don't have a dog and you don't have time for a dog, don't get a dog just for this purpose. I'm just saying, if you do have a dog and you don't go to the dog park and you don't have a reactive dog, maybe start going on walks, or start going to, like, you know, on trails or something with your dog. You'll meet people, and you'll meet dog people, the best kind of people. If you're a dog person, if you're not a dog person, they're so fucking annoying, and I would know because I used to hate dog people, and now I'm one of them. I have a sign on my wall at Christmas that says, "Here comes Santa Paws." Obviously, like, duh, like, this isn't even advice. This is just like, yeah, through friends. I will expand on that and say, if you're not someone that like goes to party, be more of a yes person, I guess is what I'm going to say. Like, if your friend's like, hey, want to come to so-and-so's party, you know, it's someone you're not necessarily friends with, there's going to be a whole new funnel of people there and a funnel of opportunity. And even if it doesn't pay off, and even if there's no one there that you're attracted to, your chances are bigger if you are more of a yes person. Hey, want to come to this like weird choir event with me at this bar? Sure. Oh, this person's having a Halloween party. You want to like dress up and go? There's a costume competition. Yeah, let's go. Just be more open to going to things with like random people. Obviously, it's easy to say like meet people through friends, but whenever someone says that, I'm kind of like, okay, I know all my friends. Only way to meet someone through friends is to meet someone through friends of friends. Kind of. You know what I mean? Kind of needs to be more distant than just a friend. That's what I think of that. I think also another thing is just being open and down to be like a little bit rejected. If you want to meet someone and you see someone that you think is cute, just go up to them. I know people think it's like socially unacceptable now for some reason to go up to people, but it's not. As long as you're not creepy. But if you go up to someone and you say, hey, like whatever, and then they hit you with a not interested, cool. Guys have come up to me and been like, hey, and I go, sorry, I'm married. And they go, okay. And I'm not like, what a loser. Why would they even try? Like, I don't think that. I'm like, cool, you shot your shot. I think when people think about getting rejected or putting themselves out there, they think that someone's going to be like, that was so pathetic of you, when like, that's not the case. Sometimes people are either, yeah, maybe they're not interested in you. Maybe they're seeing someone else. Maybe they're not dating right now. Maybe they just are out for a girl's night or a boy's night and they're just not trying to get into that. There's a million reasons someone might say no to you, but they also might say yes. Millions of reasons they say no to you doesn't have to do with like you personally. They don't know you. They're not like, oh, this person sucks. They don't know if you suck. They're just like, okay. Putting yourself out there, like when you are out at a bar, even if it's just casual, if you see someone that you think is cute, make eye contact, see how the eye contact goes. I was looking up what other people were saying about this topic today. Literally everybody was like, try making eye contact when you're just out casual. Make eyes, see if they make eyes back. And if they do, try it out. When I was single, if someone was making eyes at me and I thought they were cute, I'd make eyes back and like, hell yeah, you better come over. Do it. Let's see what happens here. Ultimately, dating is hard. Dating is hard online or offline. So the idea that like one is better than the other is crazy to me. Dating isn't by nature a positive or a negative thing. It's an experience. It's an experiment. It's just a thing we do. It's not like dating's fun or dating sucks. It's just like dating is sifting through people, trying to find a match. It's paperwork, basically. Have fun with it. Might as well. Don't get too in your head about anything. Yeah, so that's my dating advice for meeting people offline, but I would also strongly suggest that you meet people online. Oh, and my number one tip, if you are meeting someone online, which I could just do a different video on because now I'm getting off topic. Someone else gave me this tip. Someone else who also married someone that she met online. When I first started my online dating, well, I mean, I started online dating when Tinder came out when I was like 20 and then used the apps on and off like 7 years. It's not like it worked overnight, but she told me talk to whoever you match with on the phone. Like before you meet, get on the phone, see what your rapport is like, then decide if you want to meet. And that's what I did with my husband. He's the first person I did that with. We're talking for like a week or something like that. And then I just called him, just talked on the phone for a bit. And I was like, all right, you seem cool. Coming through, baby. He tried to take me out for dinner and I was like, no, I'm just trying to fuck. Now we're married. And I'm pregnant. All right, guys, let me know if you want to hear any other lists. Got loads of things I can make lists on, honey. But you tell me what you think, because I love to make content for you. This has been great. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't liked and subscribed already, please do. And I hope to see you next week, right back here. And next week's actually going to be a new week. I'm not changing an outfit and doing a third video right now. I can't. I have to go. I'm actually going to have a roast beef sandwich tonight. Deuces!